guys, so we are back, and in the last lesson we worked on getting Bootstrap installed, and we talked a little bit about some of the UI frameworks out there that are available to you. So depending on which one you used, I'm hoping that you decided to use Bootstrap because that way you can follow along a little better, but you could have used anyone really. Now this part right here is going to be particularly more, it's going to be particular to Bootstrap. You're not going to be able to update or modify the styling and the designs and things like that for the other frameworks, as I will be doing this one right now. They all have different ways to do it, okay? But if you follow the documentation, you probably could figure it out yourself. If not, then maybe in the future I'll have a material UI design type of tutorial that is based on not any type of framework, just like JavaScript and HTML maybe. Alright, so let's work on what we got here. So right now we have a Navbar here that is kind of useless because we're not going to use search, and we do have some drop down here, but we're not really going to use that eventually, not now anyway. So we have a bunch of stuff here that is really not important to us. Or in, what is this? There's an update. Fine, I'll run the update. Thank you for interrupting my lesson. Alright. So sorry about that. Alright, so alright, so let's, first of all, before we do anything, let's just go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's get rid of this right here and just organize things a little bit better. So we're going to go here to the top, and the first thing that we're going to do is I'm not going to use this Navbar light. It's not going to be a light one, it's going to be a darker tone. Okay, now when I say darker tone, it doesn't mean that I have to use a black one. Okay, it's probably what it's going to give me, but I will eventually make it blue. But why am I choosing a darker one? Is because white letters on top of blue will look a lot better than black one, what it is right now, black letters on top of blue, right? So so I'm gonna get rid of this background light, and I'm gonna make that a dark one. So by doing this, it will basically just kind of flip things around a little bit. All right, or maybe it just removed it altogether. Okay, so basically what, if you wanted to do what I just said, you would do this, and then it will flip it, and then it will flip it. But never mind that, because I am going to use my own thing. But let's just leave it there for now. Actually, that's fine. That way we actually get to see something. If I take this off, then you won't see anything at all. So let's just leave it there for now. So here we're gonna change that to task, the task tracker. What the heck am I doing? Task tracker. We're gonna call that task tracker, and this ref, we are going to put that because it's going to point to my root domain, which is going to be localhost 4200. So when I click on it, it will take me directly to that. And eventually we're gonna change this entirely, but for right now. So let's open up some space, and then we have this button here, and this button is basically this button that shows on the mobile, and then for the phone it will show like this. So let's just name that control / it will create a comment, or command /, and then mobile button, let's just call it mobile button. And then here going / there you go. Desktop navigation, desktop. Alright, so now we're gonna work a little bit here on this stuff here. So the first thing is this menu right here. I am not going to use this form, which is the search that you saw, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And then let's see where we are now. Let's go ahead and save this. Alright, cool. And then now we're going to change a couple of stuff here on these on this collapse here. I'm gonna add a new class, because Navbar right and open this up just so we can see things working. We're gonna use this Navbar, right? This is going to make sense eventually. This is fine, that can stay there. Navbar collapse is fine. Nav for nav, that's fine. And then ME auto, we're gonna actually get rid of that and put a 2. So we don't want the margin at the end to be to work automatically the way that depending on whatever is after that, because there is nothing after that. So I'm just gonna leave it as a margin end 2. All right. So this is updating. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So now, then the next, we can just leave it like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and start working on some of the stuff that we need. Like we need to make sure that this it's at the end over here instead, and then we're gonna make this a little bit blue. So we're gonna change the primary colors and things like that. So first thing we're gonna need to do is we're gonna have to go to the styles CSS, because we're gonna work on how to do overrides for Bootstrap, and so that they can work globally, okay, and you don't have to define it every time. So the first thing, so I'm gonna get rid of this right here, and I'm gonna make a comment here, call it my overrides. I'm gonna bring it down here and make another comment where I'm gonna put here, it's gonna be my imports. And then this area is mostly for like if I want to import another type of CSS file, SAS file that I wanted to compile in this SAS file as well. So compile it together, and or even if I want to bring in some fonts from Google Fonts, so I can use my custom, the font that I like and not the ones that Bootstrap has. And then here I'm just gonna put my code. Okay, so let's start with the overrides. First thing is Bootstrap has a variable called theme colors. So theme colors, yep, just like that. And it's basically a SAS function, so it's gonna look like this. And then what you're going to do is basically a key value pair. So there are a few variables that are preserved to Bootstrap that it already kind of uses. So one is going to be primary, and the other one is going to be secondary. I'm just going to copy them. Oh, wow, why would I do that when I have to type the whole thing anyway? All right, secondary, and the other one is going to be danger. I think they have a warning one, but I don't know if I'll use that, so I'm not going to declare it. I do want the white one, and I do want the black one. Actually, you know what? It's light. Let's name it light. A light one. That's what it's called, and a dark one. All right. So arc, dark. All right. So now, so basically, these are keywords that Bootstrap already uses, and I'll show you what they are. And the buttons actually will be the best way to show it. So if you can see right here, they already named that. Oh, success, warning, danger, info, light, dark, and link. So these keys right here, as you can see, they're using these to attach them to other classes to make this primary color, this secondary color, this success color, like that, right? So if you don't like these colors and you want to use your own, let's say this is not a blue, this is not a primary color you want to use because your website is purple, then maybe your primary color has got to be purple, and your secondary color is probably going to be teal. I don't know, whatever. That's kind of ugly, purple and teal, but you get the point. These right here are probably going to stay the same because it's the standard, but maybe you want them a little darker, so you use a little success, a little different green for success. So you can do things like that. All right, so now is when you get to define it. So for my primary, I am going to use this color here that I already have saved, and I'm gonna put a comma. And for my secondary, I'm gonna use this one that is exactly the same. No, that's different. Okay, yeah, you can see here. Oh, I have to show you something else. You see how I'm showing this right here? When I hover, I can see the color. That's because you don't have the extensions. I mean, you're not seeing that because you don't have the extensions I have. So before I do that, let me give you, because I did promise I was gonna do this for you. I completely forgot. So let me open this up and then give you a kind of like a screenshot of what I have, so that you can download your own, and then kind of have exactly the same thing I have, and go along with me. Alright, so go ahead and download all of these and install them. All of these. Some of them are going to be icon themes, so don't worry too much about the icon themes, but the other ones you may actually need. So yeah, alright, sorry about that. Alright, cool, moving on. So the next one is going to be my danger one, which I like it to be a little darker than the one Bootstrap has. And then my light is going to be just pure white. Oops. 1 2 3 1 2 3. And my dark one is going to be pure black. So it's going to be 1 2 3 1 2 3. There you go, like that. Alright, cool. So these are my primary colors. Now, right now, the way that they stand just like that is not going to work. You have to create a function that is basically going to utilize this particular keywords in here, and that's going to be add function, yep, and then theme color, add function theme color, and then it's going to have an argument which is going to be the key number, the key name, which in this case will start with primary. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna do a return for map get, and then theme colors. Yeah, there you go, and key. All right, cool. So yep, let's close that. Although I don't know that even matter. Alright, so what's going on here is, oh, I needed to use a semicolon up there. Alright, cool. So this right here, I can go ahead now and copy this and paste it a bunch of times, and then just basically put here secondary, and danger, light, and dark. Okay, so basically what I just did there is I basically defined the color values up here that I want to use, and then I basically here define use these functions to make sure that my themes in Bootstrap uses these colors right here. I'm mapping that color to whatever Bootstrap uses, and in their framework, inside their framework. Alright, so that part is right, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to save this. And what went wrong? Let's see what went wrong here. Alright, let's look at it from, alright, so style CSS mobile fill, not much, just downloader. Expected okay. Let's see what happened. Right here, I didn't put a semicolon. A colon. Same thing with this one, and same thing with that one. Alright, cool, the rest are fine. So let's go ahead and save that again and compile successfully. Alright, so we should be good to go here. So this dark right here, so if we look at and we inspect it, where is it? Dark. This dark right here is using now the black one, if I believe. It's already working on that. So let's see if this is right. Let's just name it red. I may be actually incorrect about the dark one. Okay. Alright, so this will probably make more sense as I go along. PG dark, BS dark, 21, 15. Probably doesn't work as I thought with that. BS body color, No, that's different. That's something else. All right, let's just. I know that's gonna work in a different area, but we'll move along. I'll show you later what went on there. I do want to show you some things here. Okay, I see what it is. I haven't applied the background color to be the theme color. There's a little bit different. There's more to this than just these maps right here. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. All right, so this is what we're gonna do then. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a Navbar. Right, a Navbar right. Remember, did I use that class already? Yes, right here, Navbar right. Okay, so we're gonna call a Navbar, that Navbar right class, and first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use the flex box in order to move this right here, this section right here, to the right. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to display flex, and then we're going to align items. That's messed up. To flex end, right? And then we're gonna justify, justify content, also flex end. And the last thing I want to do here is going to be the flex direction, which is going to be row this way. Column, it's like this, it's going to be this way, this way. All right, so if you put that there and you hit enter, now all of a sudden you're going to see that this stuff here moved to the end. And the only reason why that is the only thing that moved to the end is because that's what I have inside this Navbar right here. All of this stuff that is outside, which is the button and the Navbar brand, will continue to work the way they used to before, but now this is on the side. So I'm gonna, now that I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back down to the way it was and continue to work in my SAS folder. Alright, so now I want to work on getting my colors that I just made, right, to work for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Navbar, or not create, well, yeah, I'm going to create a Navbar class reference, but this one is basically calling my actual Navbar, this class right here, the very top of my Navbar, right, the black one, the black area. And here I am going to put my background color. There we go. So my background color is going to be theme color, and then which theme color I'm going to use here. So I like the blue one, so I'm going to use theme color. So this is why it didn't work before. It's because the theme color was declared and changed, but it wasn't really called. It wasn't, there wasn't any callback to it. So now when I hit enter, then now you'll see the changes happen. I gotta take the background dark, by the way. So now here, come over here and take this out. And here we go. All right. So now that we have that change, if you anytime want to change this color and make it something else, you can just change it here. Now, you'll probably think, but this is ridiculous. Why can't I just, like, for example, do this? Why can't I just do that? It'll work the same. See? It works the same. Why can't I just do that? And then whenever I need to change it, I just come over here and change it. Because this may not be the only place where you get to use this color. You may actually get to use this color on that Navbar, on some buttons and some active panel in an accordion, and then more buttons, and then more, and cards and backgrounds and cards, a background for another area. I mean, you can have like literally hundreds of places where you're using this particular color. And if for some reason your boss tells you tomorrow, hey, guess what, our client doesn't like that blue, he wants it to be a little lighter or a little darker, now you're gonna have to change it everywhere. Okay, now if you have something like this, then all you have to do is come over here and change it in this one place, and all of these guys right here will be automatically pointing to that new declaration, that new color declaration that you made. And that's how it basically will work. Alright, so we're almost done with the Navbar here. The only one thing that I want is I want to make sure that everything in here is all the colors in here are always going to be white, so that if I add, for example, like an actual link, it's not going to be blue or something like that, anything. So I want to make sure that I use this thing here, which is called the wildcard. And basically all that's telling me is inside the navbar, everything that has a foreground color is going to be theme color light, which is my white one, basically white color. All right, so that's gonna turn everything in there white. If I did something like this, danger, I use danger. If I use something like that, it will basically go in there and start doing things in red. All the declarations that I don't already have in declare in white. So you see this right here, because I'm already declaring this to be white in another CSS, that's why it's overriding it. But if I didn't, it will call this right here that I just declared. Okay, but that's not what I want, so I'm gonna put it back on light because I wanted to also declare it to be white. Although Bootstrap is already doing it white, I want to re-declare it white so I make sure that I control it. Okay, just in case this right here for some reason gets taken off or changed, or use a different class or something like that. All right, so we're good so far there. When we're gonna move this here, and then the last thing that I want to work on or talk to you about is gonna be these imports right here. So Bootstrap has, not Bootstrap, Google has Google Fonts, which is a really cool library for fonts that you can use, and you can basically pick any color you want. All right, and then you can use it directly from them. So for this course, we're gonna use Poppins, and we're going to use look at my curriculum here, Barlow. So what you do is you would go here and you would say Poppins, too many P's probably, yep, Poppins, and then you're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna select the ones you want. So we're gonna select 3 and 400. So that is going to be, this is 100, so that's 3. We're gonna select this dial, and we're gonna select this dial. Okay, and you can see that you're starting to build something here. Okay, so the next one is going to be browse fonts again, and the next one is going to be Barlow. I really like this one, so we're gonna go to Barlow, and in this one we're gonna use 100, 400, 500, 600. Okay, we're gonna use 100, 400. Okay, 400, 500, 600, and 700. All right, cool. So now that you have them all in here, it's time to create the import. So you're gonna click on import here, and you see this style right here. You're gonna grab all of this, and you're gonna come over here, and you're gonna put it in your imports, just like that. Okay, that is already going to go to this URL and fetch this declaration of imports, and make sure that whenever you use these fonts, they will render this particular font styles. So how are you going to do that is you're going to grab this right here, and you're going to come over here to your overrides or your declarations or whatever you want to call them, and you're going to put them there, and then you're going to create certain declarations for it. So this one is going to be called Barlow, so we're going to create a Barlow keyword, and the other one is going to be called Poppins, like that, Poppins. Okay, and for Barlow we're going to move this here, and for Poppins we're going to move this here, and we're going to remove this right here. So that's cool. So now how you use this is going to be, instead of remembering all of this stuff, all you got to remember is this right here, just the actual names, because you already saved this inside of these keywords here, inside of these variables. So So now you come over here and let's see what we got here. So this right here is using a, let's just look at computed. Oh, you probably can see this because my face is there. Let's look at computed and let's look at the font family right here. So that task tracker is using the system UI, Apple system, SIGOI UI, blah 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 blah, right? So it's using basically nothing. It has not used anything. It's used whatever the browser, whatever my computer has. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add inside of my Navbar, and I'm going to use font family, and then I'm going to make a call to my Barlow. There we go, and hit enter. So now when I hit enter, you probably notice that some things changed up here, but look at this now. Now my font family is using the Barlow sans serif that I declared. So if you see how it changes up here. If I hide it and then if I put it back on, it's gonna be a little bit different font. Okay, so that's basically how you change things with the font family from Google. All right, so that is pretty much all I have for this. We've been talking about this for a while now, and the only thing that I will add, just so you can have it, make sure that you copy this and paste it onto your own. This right here, we're going to make sure that that is used in the entire body, and that all your font is working. Actually, this is not right, like that. All right, cool. Make sure that you have this, so that way your font is smooth, and that your font family for the entire application is going to be used. It's going to use Barlow for the body itself, and then we can make those other adjustments for poppings if we need it. All right, so that's all I got. I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and everything is working as it should. All right, so this is all for now, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.